Hey up, it's Steve from the old Yorkshire Geek. I was nearly late, I know, because my stupid telly, it wasn't my telly, it was my little TV box, and they just decided to reboot for some weird reason. Right, as it said, it's showtime, bloody technology. Anyway, welcome to episode 180 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear, and this week we're going to break down and review Alien³ cubed, whatever. Wingrace is asking, how did you make the 3 a little exponent? Quite easily, to be completely honest. If you hit Alt and V in Windows 11, when you're typing stuff in, if you hit Alt and V, it brings up a little dialogue box where you can access the clipboard and also the character sets and emojis and all that stuff. It's in there. That's how I did it. Anyway, why has that suddenly gone off? Don't know. What else? I've got a feeling we're going to have technical difficulties tonight. The computers and the TVs and everything. I think it's the heat. It's really hot at the moment in the UK. We're going to have a really hot weekend, apparently, and it's hot today. I've got my little air conditioning thing blowing semi-cool air into my face. I've got the ceiling fan blowing that I can't feel it. But anyway. Winger says, "Oh, cool." Every time I do that, it makes that go off. Stupid thing. Cool. Not sure I've seen things using it in YouTube titles before. Oh, well, it worked. It worked. I didn't even know if it would. Anyway. Where were we? Oh, yes. Alien³. Yes, that's what we're doing. But before we start, I forgot what I'm doing. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We should be live on YouTube. I've not actually checked. I usually check while the thing's playing. Yes, we're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble. Mute the tab, Steve. We should be live on Rumble. It's not live on Rumble. Is it live on Rumble? Refresh it. Is it going to come on? Am I live on Rumble? Yes, I'm live on Rumble. It's going to be one of those nights tonight, I can tell. We're live on Rumble. Also, links are in the description. Behave. I'm not live on YouTube. He's watching through my mind. Like he does every episode. Because Wingrace is obviously a pan-dimensional mega being who watches everything with his mind. Anyway. What we're saying. All right, links in the description for stuff like merch. There we go. And me books. Come here, buggers. There they are. Amazon Kindle and paperback. Where are we? There we go. Give them a whirl. What else? Also, me social medias and stuff. Spotify, etc. I've still got the Twitch link there. I don't know if I have or not. The Rumble link there is the Twitch. I don't know, but whatever. X, Facebook, all that stuff. I said Spotify did. My Patreon page, links in there for that as well. What else? Become a member and get early access videos and exclusive videos. Not that I've done any for a while. Haven't had much gumption lately. But anyway. What else? Is that it? Right, so we can get on with it now. Alien³, the third film, as you may have guessed, in the Alien franchise from 1992. Obviously it stars Sigourney Weaver again as Ellen Ripley, lieutenant or lieutenant as they call her a lot in this. Ellen Ripley. I thought she was a warrant officer. Is that the same thing? I don't know, but whatever. Directed by David Fincher, screenplay by David Giler, Walter Hill, Larry Ferguson, story by Vincent Ward, who was going to be the director until he wasn't. But we'll get into that a little bit as we go through the film. What else? Anyway, so that stars Sigourney Weaver, Charles S. Dutton, Charles Dance, Lance Henriksen, Brian Glover. It's a big cast of British actors. We even got a Doctor Who in there. We've got Paul McGann, Ralph Brown. Who else? Who else do I know? Tom Woodruff Jr. plays the alien. Pete Postlethwaite's in it. Yes, he's in it as well. Phil Davis. I'm just trying to think of the British actor names you might know. Clive Mantle, Christopher Fairbank He's in it as well. Anyway. It had a trouble production. It had a budget of about $50 million, but it did well at the box office. But a lot of people didn't like it originally. let's putting it mildly. I can't speak tonight. Justin's here saying, happy Friday, everyone. I will watch until I fall asleep. Third shift overnight tonight. I had to say hi to my brothers. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the show. Hope my dulcet tones help you drift off into a land of nightmares where I'll be looming over you going, drone or something. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. I had a trouble. I was saying, wasn't I? A lot of people didn't like it originally when it first came out. It's bloody gone off again, me telly, look. It's this bloody box. Oh, it wants to do an update of the software. I'm going to have to do it, aren't I? I'll click accept. I'll turn the telly off. Get me remote. Tell you, it's one of those bloody nights tonight. I clicked accept. Accept. Why are you doing it? Is it the TV? It's the TV that wants to do an update. Unbelievable. Look, I've just played that thing now. Oh, I'm turning the telly off. It's pissing me off. We're not having a backdrop tonight. Turn the telly off. Gonna be one of those nights. Bloody is. I'm Gandalf, am I? I'm pigging annoyed. That's what I am. Anyway, I forgot what I want now. Yes. Like I said, it wasn't well received originally. The theatrical version. There were a 2003 special edition, sometimes I think called the assembly cut, which were closer, I think, to David Fincher's vision of the film. And I think it is generally better, is that version, although I like the ending to the theatrical version better. But anyway, that's just me. Justin says, this movie had its moments, but hard to follow part 2. Yes, but at least they didn't just copy it, did they? They tried something, different. They went back to the horror elements of the franchise, didn't they? But anyway, as I said, originally it were going to be, there were several scripts that were bandied about by people such as, I forget his bloody name now, him that did the cyberpunk stuff, William Gibson and Eric Red and some others who I can't remember. And they did some scripts. And then Vincent Ward came along with his script. Vincent Ward's a New Zealand filmmaker. I've never seen any of his films. Apparently did a film about... I forgot what they call it now. Never mind. About like these people from the medieval times digging through the earth. And they ended up in 20th century New Zealand or something. But apparently it were good. I can't remember what it were called. I've not seen it. But anyway. He wrote a script. They liked the script. This is the famous one with... It was set on the wooden planet, a planet made out of wood, or essentially a big space station made out of wood, but they called it a planet. And the producers like David Giler and Walt and all that, and Gordon Carroll, were saying, where did they get all the wood to make this thing? It was more like, it was science fantasy. It wasn't rooted in reality at all. But they liked the script. They liked the way the story of the script, which is why it was essentially unchanged from what Vincent Ward wrote. The general gist of it, although the setting, it changed quite a lot. We didn't have the wooden planet. It was changed to Fury 161, which was like a world that did like it had like a big factory on, didn't it? Like a lead works, but turned into a prison planet. But anyway. Just says, amazing that part 2 did so well. It's like more than the original with some. I love 2 the most, but first is a masterpiece. I like all the Alien films apart from Alien Covenant. But I like them all for, in their own way. I find it hard to pick, my favourite because it changes quite a lot. I think Aliens is the most fun, isn't it? Because it's the most action-packed and all that. But I do have a soft spot for Alien Resurrection, and I do like this one, although this one is a bit grim. But as I said, the first one is kind of special. But I think Aliens is most people's favourite because it's the most accessible, I think, in it. It's essentially not a horror film, although it does have horror moments. It's more an action flick in it. But anyway, so we'll get on with it, shall we? I've done enough waffling, haven't I? And I'll try and remember I've gleaned from the, as I said, the anthology has amazing documentaries, doesn't it, that go on forever. So I sat and watched that the other day. But of course, I didn't take notes, and I've just got to try and remember stuff because I'm stupid. But anyway, right, so we'll get on with it. Right, try and remember what I do. Hang on, where are you? There you are. Add to stage. What's he gone off for? I was saving that for later. We're having problems tonight, aren't we? Genuinely are. Doing my frigging nutting. I'm going to swear. I'm going to swear. Just as I like them all. Yeah, Alien Resurrection is underrated. Romulus was very good. I liked Romulus, but I didn't think it was, that good. I didn't think we were up to snuff, so to speak, with the previous films. Prometheus I kind of enjoyed, but everybody was stupid in it. But it looked nice. It looked nice, and I did kind of enjoy it. But Alien Covenant, I just can't do with that film. I bloody hate it. The Alien vs. Predators, I enjoy those for what they are. Is that it? Yeah, I think we've gone through them all now, haven't we? But anyway, right, off we go. Hang on, where are we? There we go. Let's begin. Is it going to come on? Yay, there it is. Good old 20th Century Fox logo. And this one has a slightly different beginning, doesn't it? Actually, I'll play it a bit. Because it comes on like that, and then it goes diddly dee, diddly dee, diddly, then it goes to scare us all. And then we begin. 20th Century Fox presents, and it says a Brandywine production, because all the Alien films, there we go, were Brandywine Productions, which were the production company set up by Gordon Carroll, David Giler, and Walter Hill. Walter Hill's, I don't think I've ever seen him in any documentaries. He's a super famous director. He did like 48 Hours and Warriors and all them, didn't he? But I've never seen him, I don't think I have, in any documentaries about the Alien films. But anyway. Geek, you like to always go against anything new. No, just Alien Covenant. Dear. Right, where were we? Right, Brandywine production. Right, we're off. And then we go Alien³. So there's I don't know, there'd be 9 aliens. Alien, and then 9. I don't know. But there's only one, sort of. Right, we begin. Right, the USS Sulaco. So we get a little montage. It's a while before we get any dialogue in this film, to be honest. And here we go. Oh, is that it there? We see, there we go, there's an alien egg on the Sulaco. We know it's on the Sulaco because it says so there, just to remind us. There's an egg. How it got there, who knows? This is the big question, isn't it? Let's say if Quest were here, he'd be kicking off about this bit, I think. Would Melvin. But obviously the Queen laid it there somehow. I don't know how she got it there. But she must have had a spare egg stuffed up her ovipositor and dumped it in there. And apparently it's a special face hugger that comes out, apparently, that can do more than one what call it, insemination, whatever the word is. But apparently, because it's a queen, it's a special face hugger that makes queens, or something like that. Anyway, right. Oh, I'm seeing again. Look, there we go. There it is. Look, Brian Glover, the great Brian Glover, who you may know from American Werewolf in London, films like Kes, which probably nobody out of Britain's ever seen, or nobody out of the north of England or Yorkshire's ever seen. It's a very Yorkshire film because he's a Yorkshireman, is Brian Glover. But in this one, he's got a terrible accent. I think he's like a Yorkshireman trying to put on a posh accent, and it doesn't work. Much like Sean Bean, Tries to put on a posh accent, like in GoldenEye. Doesn't work. Just be yourself. Anyway. And then we've got Ralph Brown. Oh, I know he's super famous, been in loads of stuff, but all I can think of off the top of my head is Wayne's World 2. I know he's in that. But I know he's been in loads of other stuff, but I'm blanking on what he's been in. I know I could check, but I can't be bothered. Justin says, you know you're my friend, just joking. Well, I like the master in Doctor Who, and I'm the Doctor. Oh, crikey. Are we mortal foes? Are we like Moriarty and Holmes? Or SpongeBob and Plankton? Anyway, Ralph Brown, Danny Webb. I know his face, but I can't. He's actually the spoilers. Danny Webb plays the character Morse, I think. He's the only survivor of the film from the prison thing. Spoilers. Don't know why. Don't know why he's the only survivor. There's nothing special about him. He's just there. Anyway, we'll get through all these. Right, so a fire begins. There you go. Stacey's interrupted. And we see, look, somebody's got a face hugger on them. Oh, could it be? Is it Ripley? Is it, who else is in there? Hicks, or is it Newt? Obviously, it's not Bishop. But anyway, somebody's got a face hugger on them. Apparently, though, this head, who is this head now? I can't remember whose head it is. It's not CG, by the way. There's only one bit of CG in this film. That's right near the end. And according to, I forgot his name as well now, Richard Edlund, this was one of the last films they ever worked on that were processed photochemically. There's not a lot of digital stuff in this. There's a little bit, but not a lot. I think the only digital work, as in, digitally added to the film, as opposed to optically, is some shadows that the alien casts when it's running about, scurrying about. And saying this is obviously it's a model, a model that they've made, and they found a head cast of somebody, and I can't remember who it is. I don't think it's Sigourney Weaver. It could be, what's the face? It could be Carrie Henn, who played Newt. It could be her, because I know later on when they do the autopsy of Newt, they made a body, and they used from the previous film. They had a live cast of her head, and they used that. Maybe this is the same one. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, just says I like parts of this movie, but my least favourite. You took out Newt and Hicks, or they did. Like, this movie's on Angry Berry's list of most hated. Oh, you don't like it. I guess says hello to Justin. Anyway, right, so somebody's got a face hugger on them, and then we get a bit of blood look, so somebody's bleeding. And the mother is speaking. Launch of escape lifeboat will commence, and all that stuff. Apparently, they did approach Stan Winston Studios to direct this film, but it wasn't available. I don't know what they were doing. Does it say on Wikipedia? Let's have a look. Production. Is it in there? Visual effects. No, it just says it wasn't available, and it was Winston that recommended Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. Of, what are the name of their company? Amalgamated Dynamics. And I think they went on. I think they did all the Alien films in posterity after that. But I like the setting and tone of the movie. It is a really good-looking movie with some amazing sets. Let's say it is a really well-made film. But I think it's just a bit bleak and a bit grim for people. But anyway, edited by Terry Rawlins. There he is. As I said, super famous name, but I'm blanking on that. He's done loads of films. Did he just? He won Star Wars. Just no, because that was others. Oh, what else has Terry Rawlins done? I'm going to have to bloody look it up. Hang on. I'm going to have to look it up. Editorial, Terry Rawlins. There you are. What else have you done, Terry? Did he do Blade Runner? Was that Terry Rawlins? Probably not. Yes, he did. Terry Rawlins, yes, and Chariots of Fire as well, and the first Alien film. What else? What else? The Mechanic from 72. Yeah, so done loads of films. Where's all the others? Oh no, that's the sound department. Hang on, let's get rid of all these. We just want editor. There we go. Here we go. Phantom of the Opera, we're editor on that. You know, the music. I think presumably it's a musical version, which I've got somewhere. Never watched it all the way through. The Car, which we've done. You were the editor on that. US Marshals, cool film. GoldenEye, of course, which I've mentioned. And yes, so there we go. Terry Rawlins, super famous. Justin says, yeah, it's bleak and it's kind of boring. It does dip in places, I must admit. Story is meh, but I still like it. It's not the best story, but it's interesting. Like I say, you don't feel anything for any of the characters. Apart from Ripley. But and maybe Charles Dancer's character. I forgot his name now. Anyway, right. Alex Thompson, director of photography. Originally, it was Jordan Cronenworth who did Blade Runner, but he got ill. He started the film, and a few days in, he got ill. He had Parkinson's disease, and it kind of, I don't know, it flared up or whatever, and he couldn't carry on. So Alex Thompson was brought in and did a good job. Based on characters by directed by David Fincher, his first motion picture, his first main feature or whatever, first feature film. Obviously, famous for doing commercials and music videos, and this was his first film. And there it goes. There goes the EEV. I don't know why it's that shape. Very weird shape, but never mind. And off it goes. Down to Fiorina Fury 161, or as Brad Dourif calls it in Alien Resurrection, Fury 16. And I think I know why. Because we know that in Alien Resurrection, it was written by Joss Whedon. And I think he watched the 4:3 version of Alien 3. Because I remember when I first saw this film, it was on TV. I didn't see it in the theatre. I saw it on TV. The 4:3 version, and it cut off that one. I always remember it said Fury 16. And so I thought it was Fury 16, for a while, until I saw the widescreen version. And I think he saw what's his face? Joss Whedon saw the 4:3 version, which is why he called it Fury 16. Just a theory, but anyway, off it goes. It's also double Y chromosome work correctional facility, and that is mentioned twice in this film here. And Brian Glover says it. There's no such thing as double Y, is there? Double Y chromosome. You can have double X chromosomes, which is women, and XY chromosomes, which is men. But I don't think you can have double Y, can you? Is it impossible? I think it is, isn't it? Unless they're genetically engineered or something, I don't know. Anyway, Justin says, if I had to banish it to the shadow realm, it's gone. I wish Resurrection made this just a dream. They should have done, shouldn't they? They should have let Neil Blomkamp make his Alien films, because Sigourney Weaver were up for it, wasn't she? But Ridley Scott put his bloody big, stupid Geordie foot in it, didn't he? And stopped that. Because he were going to carry it on from the end of Aliens, wasn't he? Well, Neil Blomkamp, and kind of suggest that everything that happened in the other films was some dreams she were having in hypersleep. But anyway, and brought everyone from 2. That's about, yes, because he were going to be back, wasn't he? Or Hicks and Newton, all them. That's just a theory, a TOYG theory. Yes, my theory about why Joss Whedon called it Fury 16, because he watched the 4:3 version and not the widescreen one. Anyway, where were we? Oh, here it comes, Fury 16. Don't know where it is. Don't know what's... It just says Outer Vale, whatever that means. Sounds like something from Babylon 5, doesn't it? But anyway, so here it comes. It is not a nice planet to live. Well, the atmosphere is breathable. Apparently, it gets really cold at night. There's lots of bugs, as we can see. I think a lot of these bugs are digital as well. I think he did say that. did Richard Edlund. The shadows the aliens cast and the bugs that we see flying about in the air, in the atmosphere, they're digital. But everything else is optically printed. Oh, pardon me. Anyway, there it goes, crashes into the sea. Somehow, in this version, Ripley is thrown out or something. I don't know. I don't know how she gets. Sometimes she's out of the EV because. By the way, I think this was filmed. Speaking of Geordieland up in northeast of England, I think this was filmed up in the northeast of England somewhere. I don't know if these are real. I don't know if there's some coastline up in Northumbria or Tyneside that have got these there, or if they've been added afterwards. I don't know. But anyway, here comes Charles Dance in a minute. There he is. There's Charles Dance down there. Cool visuals. It's sort of visuals you're seeing, like you get like art books of sci-fi art. It's that sort of thing. Cool stuff. Here he is. And remember, like I said, the original screenplay by Vincent Ward. It was going to be a bunch of monks that lived inside this wooden planet, and that felt threatened by the arrival of this woman from elsewhere, and they've changed it so it's a bunch of prisoners now, but they're still religious. They have found religion, except for him, Ian. But we still have this. Is still looking a bit monk-like, in his long robes and stuff. But anyway, he sees her. There she is. She's on the beach. I wouldn't have seen her. I wouldn't have noticed that. But there she is, getting washed up on the beach. Don't know how she got booted out of the EEV. There she is, looking like she's covered in oil. Get Greenpeace onto her with some detergent and scrubbing brushes. They have maggots on her as well, because apparently, I said there's a lice problem. But in the film, they didn't use lice, obviously. They used crickets, little baby crickets, or whatever, juvenile crickets, little tiny, you can see there, look. They used those, and apparently they got everywhere. And Tom Woodruff Jr. said some got in his suit, because he's being the alien, and they got in his suit, and he was freaking out. Because he said, I could feel their little feet and legs scratching me. Anyway. Right, so he's picked her up. Here he is. He's not actually picked Sigourney Weaver up. When he's running here, they spent loads and loads of money on a full-size dummy of Sigourney Weaver, all articulated and everything. And it looked amazing up close, but you never see it up close. You just see him there running along with it. But anyway, and then from now on, it's Sigourney Weaver that he's carrying. Would apparently just had a baby. Well, not just, a few months previously. When the film went into production, she just had a baby, and she says, I will get back into shape, and she did. She did for this. But anyway, so here we go. There you go. They bring her in. And I forgot his name now. Is it Clemens? I can't remember. No, he's the boss, isn't he? Who's who now? I can't remember the bloody cast. I've only watched this one about 3 times. Yeah, it is Clemens, yeah. It is Clemens. Charles Dance plays Clemens. Charles Dance, of course, you may know from Game of Thrones, Last Boy Scout, The Golden Child, Sardum Numpsy. That's who he is in The Golden Child, and loads of other stuff. They should use that dummy for the new T-Mag film. What's a T-Mag? What's T-Mag? I don't know what T-Mag is. I can't work it out in my ape's brain. You'll have to just tell me, because I'll never work it out. Because I'm dopey. Charles Dance is awesome. Yes, he is. He's a great actor. One of the greats, a great British actor. And he's good in this as well. Really good in this. Right, so it tells them to go and check the EEV. And in this version, they use some oxen to drag it out of the sea. But in the theatrical version, which obviously we don't see in this, they use a big crane to lift it out. And in that version, that crane, which is obviously a model, were made from an X-Wing fighter. So there you go. But we don't see it in this, unfortunately, which is thingy. His best film is The Last Action Hero, with his his eye changes, doesn't he? He has like different contact lenses or something, or does he have a false eye? It's a long time since I've seen it. I replied to your recent post with that. It's across the. It's the across. Decided. Oh, the Mandalorian and Grogu. Yes, yes, the Mandalorian and Grogu, of course. Yes, couldn't figure it out. Yes, but I think in your reply you did T-MAG. That's what put me off. Yes, the Mandalorian and Grogu. Anyway, why should they use that dummy for the Mandalorian and Grogu? For the Mandalorian, I don't know. Oh, yes, she was in it, wasn't she? Yes, she's in it. It's Sigourney Weaver, isn't she? Yes, I've just remembered. Anyway, back to this film. Right, so he gives her a checking out, and she spews up water. There we go. So she's fine. Here they are. The Jawas are out. Look, ding, 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 ding. Here they are with the oxen. That's what sort of oxen they are, but there they are. This is what they use to get the to pull the EEV out of the water. As I said, in the theatrical version, they used a big crane. And there's Brian Glover as Andrews, Warden Andrews, whatever the hell his title is, and he's on the computer. It's that old, is this prison facility, that they've still got cathode ray tube televisions. It's that old. But anyway, so here he's reporting in what's happened. They'll be finding out one survivor, all the others have died, and we're going to get little glimpses of them. There we are. There's Bishop still in his bag that she put him in. Corporal Hicks is dead. I'm going to get a glimpse of that. I've probably missed it. Where is it? Hang on, I've missed it. I missed Corporal Hicks. We get a glimpse of Corporal Hicks. Oh no, there's Bishop. There's Corporal Hicks. Not looking very well, is he? Had his face bashed in, apparently by a support stanchion or something, went through his head. And Newt drowned in a tube, but in a cryo tube. Anyway, and I don't think in this version we get to see the face hugger. The skip over in the theatrical version, we see the face. It might have been in the trailer as well at the beginning. We get a glimpse of the face hugger in the EV. It's like, and as the dog is barking at it. But I don't think we see the dog in this version, although he is mentioned. I think the dog's called Spike, and I think it's Spike. But I don't think we see it in this version, but it is mentioned. Anyway, right. So there they are, dragging it out of the water. Right. Ooh, look. The sun's going down, and it won't be up again for 2 days or something. Whatever that means. Doesn't really make sense, does it? 2 Earth days, I imagine, 48 hours. Right, that's Christopher Fairbank. That's Christopher Fairbank. I don't know who he is. That's a lot of people have said you never feel anything for the prisoners in this film, because essentially everybody's got a bald head. They all kind of look the same-ish. But anyway, never mind. There's Charles S. Dutton as I can't remember his name either. What am I like? Dylan. There we go. Who's kind of the leader of the inmates. Always praying. I said they found God. It works for them. Right, so here he is. Here's Brian Glover. That's it, with his stupid posh accent.
This is Rumour Control. Here are the facts.
Here are the facts. An EEV.
So he's telling what's gone on, that an EEV has crashed and there's one survivor and it's a woman, and they all go, ooh. There we go. And so they're all, because there's no women there. It's just like in The Thing, no women. Anyway. But they will learn that, she seems okay, but and they're going to keep her out of the way until the rescue team arrives. I think it's in about a week, something like that. Does it say? Does it ASAP? I think it's about a week that they're going to arrive. So she's going to be there a few days. Anyway, Right, so there she is. He's going to inject her, give her something to make her feel better. She wakes up. So there we go. Swiss made Rocket of London. I wonder if that's an actual brand. If it's Swiss made, Swiss made for Rocket of London. Don't know if that's an actual brand of hyperdemic nurdle. Yes, I know I said it like that. And he tells her, shave your head because we've got a lice problem. And I'll get you some clippers and tend to your private parts yourself. But anyway. So he tells her how she got there and all that stuff. And that, no, she's the only survivor. So she's like, oh, crikey. So anyway. So gives her a quick tour. They said it used to be a 5,000 convict facility, and now there's just 25 left. I was going to count, see if we could do a count to see how many, see if we could account for every death. But I forgot and I couldn't be bothered afterwards. But we see they've got a blast furnace and that do lead and stuff because they use pour lead into it later on and all that stuff. Oh, there you go. The inmates forge lead sheets for toxic waste containers. There you go. That's what they're telling them. Here's the EV that they're lowering down into this area because she wants to check it out. They will see that the bodies have been taken to the morgue, and she notices on, I think it's on Newt's cryo tube chamber, whatever you want to call it. There we go. She notices there's a burn mark, as it's been melted, as though something with acid for blood has been there. So she's like, oh, bloody hellfire. So she says she's got to have a look at Newt. So they either go down this spiral staircase, which Lance Henriksen now has in his house, apparently. He said in the commentary. He was able to acquire this from the set, and it's now in his house, apparently. He really liked it. Norman Reynolds, by the way, is the production designer. And they actually started a lot of the building the sets for the Vincent Ward version of the film. So it'd be all like wood and stuff like that. It'd be like cathedral-like interiors. And then it all changed. But anyway, so here we are. So she's going to have a look at Newt. There's Phil Davis again. There he is. So you may know from, I don't know, Quadrophenia, the Long Good Friday, and other stuff. I've got a mental image of him in another film, and I can't think what it is. I always thought she didn't seem very sad to lose Newton Hicks. I think she's just, I don't know. I think she's sad because she does have a little, a little weep maybe or something like that. But I think she just resigned that these aliens are around and all that. But yeah, I think she's sad, particularly about Newt. Anyway, so she's there. You go. She's looking sad. Look. She's going to inspect the body. By the way, a lot of these. I don't think this is a real person. I think this is a thing that they've made, a dummy. A lot of what they call it, is it not glycerin, gelatin? I can't remember. Skin, translucent skin stuff. Which they used for the Bishop android when she reactivates him later on. But anyway, so there goes. She's checking out thing and say, "What's she doing?" He said, "Yes, we need to have an autopsy because she might have cholera." She says. He said, "No, she drowned. She drowned in her tube." I said, "Well, I think she's got cholera." There you go. She says, "There hasn't been a case of cholera for 200 years." So I said, "All right, whatever." So they do an autopsy on her right there and then. And they cut her open. Apparently, this was super gory in the original cut. They were showing it all, cutting her open and everything. But we just get quick glimpses in this, which I'll probably just skip over. I don't think it'll land on anything gruesome. But there you go. Her lungs flooded with fluid, and this is all very sad look. And this is now on, because I'm not a complete idiot, would you like telling me what we're looking for? But then they get interrupted by Andrews and whoever he is. This is Ralph Brown, 85, but I can't remember his character's name. Aaron, of course, yes, Mr. Aaron. They call him 85 because that's his IQ apparently. Anyway, sorry, Justin. It says compared to how she was in 2. I think she's just tired in this. I think that's what it is. That's how I view it. That she doesn't have time to grieve properly. I think, but anyway, enough for Justin. Wanted more emotion. Come on, Ripley, give us those tears, Ripley. You'd be saying 125. You'd be like Kubrick. 125 takes later. Giving poor Sigourney Weaver a nervous breakdown. Anyway, as long as it looks good on film, that's all that matters. Right, anyway, so here they come to lighten the mood. He mentions cholera, but anyway, they seem there's no sign of it. But they said, but without proper equipment, they wouldn't, he couldn't tell for certain. But anyway, right, so they said, she shouldn't wonder about the prison or the facility because there's a lot of rapists and thieves and murders and all that. But anyway, so she's where is it? There you go. She's got a big contact lens in to make her eye look all bloodshot. That's something I could never probably do in a film. Put a contact lens in. I've never had contact lenses, and I've got weird eyes, and I probably wouldn't be able to cope with it. This is what made Ripley such a good character. She was so human. And she's in this as well. That's the only character you feel anything for. And Clemens as well. They're the only 2 characters. Maybe a little bit for Aaron, Mr. Aaron. For me, anyway. Anyway, right. So where are we? Oh, we're in the abattoir now. They're bringing one of the oxen in. Which has died. I think there's all lice all over it. They're probably gonna butcher it because apparently it's died. But and then they find something. Oh look, is that what the heck's that? Is that a lamb? Poor lamb. But there they are. Anyway, so there was she's 11 years old and don't know what killed her. And then he goes over there and oh Pete's sake, and he says, "What's this? Hey Frank. What's this?" And he picks that up. There we go. He's found the facehugger, which is dead. And it looks different, doesn't it? It looks different to the facehuggers we know, because apparently it's a special one that implants queens. So anyway, so there we go. And also can implant more than one. I don't know. Is it just 2 and then die? Did it do whoever's got it? Ripley's, we know, spoilers, Ripley's got the alien queen in there. So did it do Ripley and then the not bison, ox, whatever the hell, the cow, and then die? I don't know. Or were there 2? I don't know. A lot of people said that maybe there were 2 eggs. Obviously, in the theatrical version, the alien, the xenomorph, came out of a dog. The dog we mentioned earlier, the Rottweiler, which I think is called Spike. But in the original version, it was this bison, which makes more sense, I think. But I think they changed it. Originally, it was not a bison. I keep saying bison for some reason. Ox, cow. It was originally, and the thought that I think after they'd filmed it and all, I think that they had second thoughts, and they were talking about how the alien takes on some of the characteristics of the host that it comes out of. So they think if it came out of a cow, it'd be all lumbering and not fast. So that if it came out of a dog, it could move fast. So that was their reasoning. But whatever, it's coming out of a cow now. That rhymed. They're the furnaces because they're gonna now burn. Gonna throw Hicks and Newt's bodies. There they are into the furnace in a funeral thing. But it's it's showing us. They also mentioned something else here for later on in the film, and I forgot what it is. Does somebody say something? I'm gonna have to go back. He's found that. Somebody says something, and I think, oh, that's for later on in the film, and I can't remember what it was. Is it one of these talking? He's up there. There. Or maybe it's later on. I can't remember. It must be later on. Somebody says something and it happens later on in the film. It's the I think it might be the sprinklers or something. I can't remember. Anyway, so they're having this funeral service for Hicks and Newt, and they go. Oh, and while that's happening, the chest burst. Although they don't really have a chest burster in this, it's what they call the Bambi xenomorph comes out of the cow, as they're saying their words of stuff. But here it comes. There they go into the molten lead, and here it comes. There it comes the Bambi xenomorph, and for some reason, when that happens, she gets a nosebleed. So is this like Alien Resurrection, where she's connected with them? Obviously, no, because she's got the embryo inside her, hasn't she? And there it is. There's the Bambi xenomorph, not a chest burster. I'm guessing, is that because the cow is bigger than a human? You know, the human chest cavity is not big enough for it to grow so big, and that's why we got a chest burster. I don't know. I'm guessing it is because that's another TOYG theory. So if the animal's big enough, it'll come out more or less, you know, a fully formed xenomorph, you know, drone or whatever they're called. But anyway, there it is. But it's obviously small. It's small. Anyway, so also there we go. And here it goes. There it goes. It goes scurrying off. Apparently, this is CG in the 2003, special edition. In the original cut, it's a rod puppet, and I think it looked really good. A lot of people say it looked rubbish, but originally it was a rod puppet, and I think it looked amazing, this rod puppet. The puppeteers did a really good job of moving it and doing the motions. But they replaced it for this with a CG version. It still looks okay. There you go, off it goes. And famously, they did try a dog. They put a dog in an alien suit, a little whippet, and it just looked too adorable. It did, as it scampered off. It just looked too adorable. So anyway, there off it goes. Look, there's actually test footage of it running down that corridor thing, and it just looked adorable. Anyway, that's off it goes. Right, so she shaved her head now, bless her. Here we are in the mess hall. No audible dialogue, it says. I couldn't tell you the names of any of these characters. There's Pete Postlethwaite. And there's others that I know the faces, but I don't know the names. Anyway. Right, so they're all talking. There's Paul McGann as Golic, a major character now in this film. He kind of in the theatrical version, kind of just disappears from the story, but he has a bigger story, a bigger arc in this version. Obviously, he's the 8th Doctor, just for that one Doctor Who TV movie, wasn't he? Although, did he appear in the 50th anniversary special, or no? It was for the 50th anniversary, but it was like a webisode or something. He appeared, didn't he? And then regenerated into John Hurt, didn't he? The War Doctor. But anyway, there he is as Golic, one of the inmates. Anyway, so in she comes. They're all talking about having her around and all that stuff. And but she's just going to come in, I think. They talk about how Golic's mental and nobody wants to talk to him. But anyway, in she comes. She keeps being told not to. She's told, not to be seen around the prisoners, but she's stubborn, so she does. So she goes to get something to eat, and she wants to thank Dylan for his kind words. He said some words at the funeral of Newt and Hicks, and he says, you don't want to be around me, lady. I'm a rapist and murderer of women. And says, "All right, I must make you uncomfortable then," and sits down to eat. So she's just asking for trouble, basically, isn't she? I think he's called Junior because he's got a teardrop tattoo there. He's not a nice person. But again, he has a story arc, a character arc, and spoilers, he sacrifices himself for him. After doing a terribly heinous act, which he gets punished for. I thought he got killed, but he doesn't. Well, he does, but not then. But anyway. Winger said it was in a mini episode and he came back for Jodie. Yeah, that mini one, wasn't there, where he regenerated into John Hurt, didn't he? Did he come back for Jodie? I don't know. I didn't watch all of Jodie's. I saw the odd one. Maybe the first two. I thought the one where, Jodie's first one and then the one after it. Well, that the Spiders in the UK or something. And then I don't think I watched any more after that. I don't think. Anyway. Where were we? I'm looking up his name, wasn't I? I think it's Junior. Yes, Holt McCallany as Junior. Tattoo teardrop. Yes. I'm saying he sacrifices himself. This is but that's just in the assembly cut that we're seeing here. Obviously, in the theatrical version, that didn't happen. Anyway, but there he is. Him and Ripley are going to have an encounter a bit later. But anyway, so there they are. She's there's Pete Postlethwaite, the greatest actor who has ever lived, according to Steven Spielberg, or something like that. Wingate says there was one episode where she went into a mindscape or something, and all the living classic doctors besides Baker came back. Fair enough. Tom Baker, you mean, not Colin. But anyway, so they said, they'll tolerate her. But anyway, she's having another little chat with Clemens, and he's telling her, about what happened. When they wanted to close down, this facility, but they found God and they wanted to stay there. Dylan and the people, the inmates who followed his religion wanted to stay there, so they were allowed to stay there as custodians of the facility, just with two guards, Aaron and with Aaron at the moment, and Andrews, and the medic, which is him. We learn later on that he was an inmate as well, but he served his time, but he decided to hang about with them because he got to know this motley crew, as he puts them later. Not Vince Neil and Nicky Six, not that motley crew. Anyway, so he says, she seduces him here now. Are you attracted to me? She does a lot of licking of her lips in this bit. And so he says, yeah, of course I am. So they get on with it, but we don't have a sex scene. But they do play nudie prod games. But anyway, here's, I can't remember this fella's name, but he is singing in the year 7510. 7510. Anyway, it's him. And he's scrubbing some sort of ventilation tube. Not very safe is this, apparently, in my opinion, but because of what happens. But anyway, he steps on that, and he's, what's this? And he sees a hole. He steps on that, and so it's some shed skin of some sort. There he picks it up and has a look, and there's a hole for him to look in, and this is where he says Spike. There we go, Spike. I think that's the dog's name, which we never see in the assembly cut version. But he looks in, he thinks it's the dog that's in there, but it's not. Look, it's the alien. It's the xenomorph. It has obviously it's shed its skin and grown. I presume like crabs do or whatever. They shed, don't they, as they get bigger. Anyway, and it spits acid in his face. I think we might have seen it once in Aliens. The aliens spitting acid. in the APC. One comes through the windows. As they're getting out, as Ripley's driving it out of the what they call it, the atmosphere processor. One of them sort of like smashes through a window and sprays something. I think that might have been acid. I could be wrong, but anyway, we see this. It sprays acid, spits acid in his face, and there he goes. Hang on, where are we? There we go. And for some reason, just falls. It must be downhill. I'm guessing it must be downhill, and it just rolls into this big fan that doesn't have any mesh or anything to cover it up. For just general safety. OSHA would go mental, wouldn't they? But anyway, in he goes. There we go. This big, huge metal fan. There we go. Spladash. Splush. So that's the end of him, whatever his name is. It'll tell us in a bit. Boggs. Is it Boggs? It sounds something. Is it? Might be. I can't remember. Anyway, right. She wakes up suddenly. Her eye's better all of a sudden. So I don't know how much time's passed. A couple of days, maybe? Do you reckon? Is that long enough for her eye to go back to normal? I don't know. She notices Clemens has got a barcode tattooed onto the back of his neck. He can't really make it out, can he? Because of that thing of me. But he's got a barcode. We'd seen earlier on the prisoners have barcodes tattooed on the back of their head. So she's thinking, oh, hang on, he's a prisoner. But he doesn't want to tell her anything yet. And she's telling him, he's asking, why did you want to check on Newt? And she says she had this terrible dream in hypersleep where she wanted to make sure that, she didn't die of something other than drowning. She's not letting on what her real thoughts are. Anyway, Mr. Clemens is summoned to that thing because of the accident. So here he goes. So we're going to check on that. There we go. He says his name. He says it's hang on, where are we? Oh, Murphy. Where do you get Boggs from? No idea. Is somebody called Boggs in this? I have no idea. I could have just made it up. It's Murphy. I should have known that because my best mate is called Murphy. But anyway, never mind. How do you know? Because that's his boot. So does he have his name on his boot? There you go. How do you know? That's his boot. But does he have his name on? Do they have the names on the boots? Do they? Maybe they do. I don't know. But they've still got his leg, bit of a stump sticking out, and his goggles, which are smashed. Anyway, so thinking it's just a tragic accident. You think he's got sucked in. I think Andrews says he was sucked into the fan, but I think Clemens says it was blowing at the time, so it wasn't sucked into it. But anyway, then Clemens notices, because remember it spat acid at him, so it's obviously gone onto this metal bit here and melted it a bit, and he notices that. So he's thinking, what's going on here? What's going on here? Do we know something's up? Right, meanwhile, Ripley's gone back to the EEV, and she's getting the flight recorder out, a little black box. You notice all this... is it Japanese or Chinese writing? I don't know. It looks Japanese, doesn't it, you reckon? We see a lot of it up and down on the walls and stuff. Like Chinese or Japanese writing, I don't know. It'll be Japanese because from Yutani, won't it, I imagine? But I was thinking long before Firefly, but they were Chinese, weren't they? So I'm guessing it's Japanese because of Whale and Yutani. I'm guessing. But anyway, I was also thinking, could it be a leftover? Could it be like a little connection to Blade Runner? Because we had a lot of Oriental influences in Blade Runner, didn't we? And some people have suggested that Alien and Blade Runner are in the same universe, aren't they? Who knows? Anyway, she gets it out, the flight recorder from the EEV, but she can't access it. She needs something with an audio interface to access the flight recorder. Wingrace says Firefly has Whale and Yutani logos in it. Does it? I've not noticed. It's been a long time since I've watched Firefly. But I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, so He tells her about what he saw, the burn. So her suspicions are aroused again, and she wants to know what happened to the bishop android. And he says he was thrown on a rubbish tip. He can point her in the right direction, but he's got to go and he's got another appointment. So anyway. Meanwhile, Golic and two others, one with a really deep voice, are out doing something in a big long tunnel, lighting candles. I don't know why. Does it say? I don't know. I wanted to pay much attention. Does it say light a candle for Murphy? Light 1,000. But they're going down this big long tunnel, lighting all these candles. And I don't know why. Is it to do with their religion or is it part of their job? I don't know, but that's what they're doing. It's been summoned to Andrew's office. Gives him a cup of coffee and all that stuff, and it just starts ripping into him. There we go. And says, get information out of her and all that stuff. And he says, I don't know anything about, all she said is she was part of a combat team that came to grief, and that's all she's told me. And anyway, he threatens to tell Ripley, all about Clement's sordid past if he doesn't shape up. But anyway, so that's the end of their meeting. Right, so here's Ripley now. She's on the rubbish tip, looking for. There he is. There's what's left of Bishop. That's he's the I don't know what they call it, puppet, whatever the hell it is. That they made with the skin's made. I think they said glycerin, and they were told, because they said this stuff we're using for the skin, it's really sensitive and it's got to be, I think, cool and dry atmosphere. And they said, oh, don't worry, it'll be fine. In the filming, it'll be cool and dry, it'll be okay. And when they got there, for this scene, it was humid because of all this steam and stuff, and it was obviously wet because of all the steam and all that. And it's supposed to be raining as well, I think. So it was up, and it started falling apart. It started, basically rotting away. Did all this glycerin. But anyway, they did the best they could. Anyway, she picks it up, and there's actually a bit. There we go. You see his wrist there. To tie some cloth around his wrist, Bishop's wrist, because it had started rotting away the glycerin skin. Anyway, so she gets him in a bag, basically. But she gets attacked now, here we go, by Junior and his men, his gang. There we go. And they're going to try and do nasty things with her. But thankfully, here comes Dylan to save the day. There we go. Gets Junior. He's got a big bloody crowbar or something in his hand. She goes flying. He asks if she's okay, and then he says, all right. And he just lays into Junior, and then when he brings up the pipe, it's all lumps of meat on it. I thought he killed him. He must have, bludgeoned him to death. But he hangs. We see Junior later on with a bandage round his head. Anyway, he says, you get out of here. I've got to re-educate some of the brothers. We got to discuss some matters of spirit, and there's this other one there. I know his face. Who is he? See if I can find his name. See if anything jumps out at me. Is it him? Is it Peter Guinness? Let's have a look at his face. Yes, it's Peter Guinness. That's Peter Gregor. She punches him, but we see him again later. What else has he been in? I know his face. Sleepy Hollow. We're in that. He played Lord Crane in Sleepy Hollow. And what else has he been? He's been a few things. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, but only his voice. What has he been in on telly? Been in The Bill. Every British actor's been in The Bill. We're in Highlander, the series, which I've still not got round to watching. He was in Casualty, because every British actor's been in Casualty. Has he been in Holby City? Bet he has. bet it's down there somewhere. Anyway, whatever. It's been in loads of stuff. Right, where were we? Let's make sure we're still going and everything's hunky-dory. Yeah. Just checking for chats and stuff. Right, where were we? So he's going to re-educate these brothers. She punches him out and he beats up some more prisoners. Meanwhile, Golik and his two mates, I don't know the names, find... Are there there that they've never been before? Because obviously this is an expansive place, and they've been there for 5 years, apparently. Because Clement says 5 years ago they shut this place down, and these were allowed to stay on as a... to keep the pilot light on. So is it like when the Atlantis expedition arrived in the Pegasus galaxy, Stargate Atlantis? They found these, ended up in this huge city that they were exploring. Is that what they're doing here? Because he's found a cigarette machine. Oh, you shout cigarettes. So is this an area that they've not been to, which is why they're lighting the candles so they don't get lost? I think that might be it. Could be. Does he say what they've got to do? Finds the cigarettes. Come on, somebody say something. Not saying anything, are they? Come on, speak with subtitles. Look, he's looking at a map. So they're obviously somewhere that they don't know where they are. Let's do it. This fella's got a really deep voice. And I thought, is he Kevin Grievous at first? Because I didn't see him. I didn't see his thing.
So let's do it.
Hang on, let's find another one. That wasn't a good example. Oh, for God's sake.
This is like 10 city block.
It's not him.
76.
Now, we've encircled this entire compartment
Hey.
once.
It sounds like Kevin Grievous. If you don't know who Kevin Grievous is, he's an actor and writer who wrote and appeared in the first Underworld film. I think maybe the second one as well. He played one of the werewolves. He's got a really deep voice. I thought it was him at first, but it's not. Anyway, so here we are. They've gone round this entire compartment once because they can see the candles off in the distance, but then suddenly something's blowing the candles out. Can aliens blow? They must be able to. But don't you need cheeks to blow? They don't have cheeks, do they? You need cheeks to go. Otherwise, you just be going. Anyway, so wondering what's extinguishing the candles. We're going to find out in a minute, because we're going to get got. Here he is. He's going to see it now. There he is. Because basically, he's in front of it. He doesn't notice it until it's right there. Look, and Tom Woodruff in his outfit rears up and gets him. And so they go running down, and there's some cool shots. Is it this where they see it round the corner? Is it? Have we got there yet? No, we haven't got there yet. Hang on, let's come back again. Here we are. So it's getting this fella. Hang on, do we? Oh no, it must be later on. They run away. They see it getting him, and they run away. But there's Golik and the other fella, and this other fella gets got. Look, it drags him off, and Golik ends up with all blood all over his face. Look, like that, and the alien just looks at him, and he thinks he's felt touched by the dragon. He calls it the dragon. So this really sends Golik over the edge. So he runs off screaming, and it doesn't bother going after him for some reason. Anyway. Meanwhile, Ripley's got over a little attack by the other inmates, and she's back in sick bay or medical bay, whatever you want to call it, with what's left of Bishop. And it's really good puppet. Like, you can tell it's a puppet, but it's really good, especially the articulated the lips and stuff when he talks. It's really, really good. Anyway, she gets him going again. She sticks stuff in him and gets him going. There we go. And he speaks. There you go. Says, Ripley. She says, are you okay? He says, my legs hurt. Obviously, he hasn't got any. But she asks him, can he access the flight recorder? And he says, sure. Anyway, meanwhile, Golic's gone to the mess hall and is eating. I don't know, maybe to calm himself down. But I presume he's having some cereals. He's got some milk there and whatever he's eating in there. I don't know. And this fella comes in. This fella who, I don't know, is he the fella that played? Is he in Game of Thrones? I can't remember the name. Let's have a look, see if I can find him. I don't know the actor's name, though. Is it him? Don't know. Oh, there is a character called Boggs. Dear. But I don't know if that's him. I don't know his name. It's obviously the cook or whatever, isn't he? Because he's got some plates in his hand. I don't know. I'm gonna check this fella out first. Right, let's have a look. Who's he? Looking up Vincenzo Nicoli. Is it him? Probably not. What's he done? Where are we? Is it him? He's done Alby City. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. I'm thinking, is he the actor that we're looking at there with the plates? Him that played I can't remember his name in Game of Thrones. He got killed by a dragon. The bald head. He had a bald head in that. It probably ain't him, but I think he looks a bit like him. No, I don't think it's him either. I don't know. Never mind. Anyway, there you go. Drops his plates. I'm guessing they're probably metal, so they won't break. She sees it all covered in blood. Right, so she's asking, can you access the flight recorder? And he says yes. So we found out there were a fire and there were an alien on board. She says, well, is there an alien? Yes, there is. And then and basically he says, shut me down. They can repair me, but I'll never be top of the line. I'd rather be nothing. By the way, they find Boggs and drag him off. So there you go. She'd rather be nothing. So she disconnects him. So essentially killing Bishop, a mercy killing. Anyway, as she's doing that, they're dragging Golic in. So I don't know. Have they found the bodies of the other just missing? I think they're missing. Casimir's missing the other two that were with him. They think because he's covered in blood, they think he's killed them. And he's saying it was the dragon. And obviously Andrews thinks he's killed him. And but Dylan says, no, he's a fool and he's crazy, but he's not a liar. He'll never lie to me. But anyway, there you go. He's never lied to me. But anyway, so she would like to talk to him, but he has a talk with there's Andrews, and it says, basically, stay away from the prisoners. I think she knows that now. So she's confined to the infirmary. That's what they call it, the infirmary. So anyway, so she's having another little chat with Clemens, and she starts coughing here now. That's so it's where we realise there's something up with her. But anyway, meanwhile, Golic's muttering crazy things over in the background, and anyway. I ask her if she's married. She says no, and then I think he tells her all about why he ended up there. He got addicted to morphine. He did a 36-hour shift, at a hospital, and then got drunk, and then got called back in. He's not gone in, should he? If he'd had a few drinks, he should have said, no, I'm not in a fit state. But he got called back in, and some people, there'd been a big accident. Some people had died, but not because of the accident, because he prescribed the wrong amount of painkillers. So he went to prison for it. You'd have thought there'd been, mitigated circumstances, but obviously not. He got demoted in his doctor's rank or whatever, and he got sent there, and he served his time and stayed on when they closed the prison. He stayed on with this lot. There we go. Got to know this motley crew quite well. So when they stayed, so did I. Anyway, as he gives her an injection, kind of a bit of a sedative to help her calm down. But as he's doing this, we see things happening in the background. Look, something's coming down from the ceiling. Oh no! There it is. Look, it's the alien. We see its feet come down, and it's gonna get Clemens now because he's told all this tale now. He's absolved of any guilt or anything. He's spilled his guts. We know all about him, so now he can die. Which he does. It gets him. Look, it grabs hold of his head and do a nice head what do they call it? Gag. A nice head gag. On this show. I hate it when special effects people call it films the work on shows. It's not a show, it's a film. A show's on TV, isn't it? And the famous trailer, the famous trailer shot in it as this the rod puppet comes up to her. Now this is a rod puppet. Comes up to her. I remember it's a hand puppet, that one, I can't remember. Anyway, it comes up to her and does the and in the trailer, remember, it says, and the bitch is back. But it isn't, is it? It's not about Sigourney Weaver. I don't know. Because obviously it's not. It's not the Queen, is it? But anyway. Misleading trailer. Anyway, so it doesn't kill her. There we go. Because obviously it can sense that she's carrying the Queen. And off it goes, back up into the ventilation shaft. And he's like, yay! It's the dragon. And I think it's taken Clement's body away as well, I think. Anyway, so she goes running, she's off running around the corridor now to the mess hall. I think that's Junior there, I think. He's got a bandage on his head. Anyway, so there he is, there's Junior, got a bandage on his head. He's obviously beating his head in. Did Dylan. But anyway, so he's doing rumor control. People are being found dead. A couple of people missing. Don't know what's going on. Rescue team's on its way. They go for Lieutenant Ripley. They call her Lieutenant because they're British. Lieutenant Ripley. And then she goes, she's, I'm telling you, it's here. Stop raving, woman. I'm telling you, it's here. And then it gets him. Hang on, I missed it. It gets hold of, there we go. It gets hold of Andrews. Any second. There it is. There you go. Gets hold of Andrews. Apparently, according to, I think, if it's Alec Gillis or Tom Woodruff, one of them, in the commentary, they were saying, if you've got good eyes, you can tell there's a difference between the glove and the arm. I think it's just a stuntman that grabs hold of him and pulls him up. But I can't tell the difference. He says you can tell. I don't know, maybe is it that there? There's a difference in colour. They couldn't quite get the colour right or something between the arm and the glove. But I can't tell. It looks the same to me. Anyway, it grabs him and drags him up. And there we go. And Morse says a swear word. And we see loads of Morse from now on for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why this character kind of comes to the fore all of a sudden. Anyway, passage of time. They've got somebody mopping up the blood underneath that. I'd have just left it. Put some cones round. That's what I'd have done. So they're wondering what to do now. And Aaron says, well, I suppose I'm in charge now. And then Morse says, oh, yeah, put 85 in charge. He says, stop calling me that. And, what we're going to do. So, got to find a way to stop it. So they're going to have a plan and all that. This goes on for quite a long time, this bit, I must admit. They're just talking about what they can do. And they've no weapons at all, apart from, some meat cleavers and stuff like that. They've no, firearms or anything. They've got them flares that they can do fires with and all that. But anyway, there you go. Morse gets angry with her. Shove her head through the wall, and she says, "Sounds good." Because I think she just wants to die at this time. Does Ripley, doesn't she? At this point, I think that's Clive Mantle there in the background. There's been loads of TV stuff. I think he's been in Doctor Who. I think. Anyway, so here we are. They've got a map out because Ripley likes looking at maps and not maps and schematics. She likes looking at schematics. So she say, "What's this?" And there we go. We're going to flush it out and into the furnaces or whatever. That's what they're going to do. No, that's it. I've just remembered. They're going to trap it. They've got a big containment area that's got 6 foot thick wall, solid steel that they're going to put loads of nuclear waste in. So it says, get it in there. It'll not get out. Seal it in there. That's what their plan is. Anyway, there you go. So that's what he's telling you that. And they've got all this explosive stuff as well. Quinitracetylene that they're going to use somehow. Anyway, she's asking, why do they call him 85? And says it's his IQ. Some of them got to look at his personnel file when he first arrived. Anyway. Right, so there you go. Force it in there, slam the door, and it'll stay in there. Meanwhile, what they're doing here? Can't remember. They're using this stuff. They're making explosive stuff. There it is. I think they're going to set fire to it. They're going to set fire to it and drive it into that room that it won't be able to get out of, or something. But it gets one of the fellas. Oh, she starts coughing again and all that stuff. He says, "You don't look good." I'm fine. Meanwhile, I think this fella's going to get got in a minute, or one of them is. This fella, he drops he's got a flare in his hand for some reason, and he drops it and he picks it up. And when he goes back up, the alien's there and it gets him. And he drops his bucket of that explosive stuff, and also drops his flare. And they show it in really slow motion. I don't know why they show it for in such slow motion, but they do. It's not even going back. Look, it's that slow motion. I can't even reverse it. Look. When it blows up. So I think this is the biggest fire gag of the film. I think a couple of stuntmen did get hurt, burnt a bit in this, but them's the risks. But anyway, so here they are. So some get, but I don't know if anybody gets killed here. I don't know, by the fire. Maybe I don't know. I'm not sure. But here it comes. Here comes the alien. Look, I said some of the compositing's not great in this. We'll see it there. It actually, in a still frame, actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? Not that you can see it. Hang on, let me check. There you go. See it there, can't you? It don't look too bad in a still frame, but when it's moving about a bit, I pressed the wrong button on. There you go. When it's moving about, it kind of looks a bit good. And some that's a bit worse later on. Anyway. So off it goes. This is the bit. This is Junior. Yes, I just remember this is the bit that isn't in the theatrical version. There's Junior there. Remember, he tried to grape Ripley, got his head bashed in for it, and now he sacrifices himself. Runs into that big room that they want to trap the alien in. He says, "Come and get me." There you go, running off. Where did he say? There we go. "Come and get me, you thing." So off it goes. It falls for it, and it essentially, they've won. There we go. It's in and it's stuck. It's in there now. It's trapped in there, eating Junior. So there you go. That's Junior's story arc. Started out, they were going to get her, and he sacrificed himself. He probably knew he had no chance to get away. So I thought, might as well go out, do the right thing, which he did. Don't make what he did any better, but, sometimes bad men do good things. So anyway, so it's trapped in there. So I think, yeah, we've won. All we've got to do now is wait for, the rescue team to arrive and they'll deal with it. So huzzah, yeah, everything's lovely. But we all know it's not quite there. But this is a time of rejoicing and all that stuff. But anyway, so she's going to get to know Mr. Aaron a little bit. And which she finds out, there's Ripley, that they want to keep the alien, because it's Weyland-Yutani, the company. But anyway, meanwhile, back in the infirmary, they've still got Golic tied to the bed. Morse is here again. As I said, he keeps popping up there. He's shaving his head. Anyway, Golic's complaining. He wants to be, cut loose and all that. He said, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. And they all know that now because they've seen the alien. So he thinks, okay, I'll cut you loose, which is a big mistake. So he undoes Golic's straps and Golic knocks him out. There we go. Where is he? Here he comes. Doink. No, well, knocks him out. And off he goes. And I was going to put a big spanner in the works for everybody. I read for these first scenes, by the way, Paul McGann affected an American accent. He called it his Charles Manson accent. I've no idea what Charles Manson's accent were like. But he put that on and he said David Fincher. And he did that for, I don't know, I think the first scene he were in that was shot was the infirmary scene where he's talking to Ripley, asking if she's married and all that. And David Fincher took him to one side and said, drop the accent, just be British. So he starts off with an American accent and then goes back to his natural accent, which is kind of Liverpudlian, I suppose. Anyway. Right, so, here we are. She's talking Mr. Aaron through how to send a message to the company. There we go. Have trapped xenomorph. Request permission to terminate, and they say obviously no, permission denied. Avoid contact until rescue team arrives. So she's obviously thinking they want to keep it. Anyway, Golic comes to the big room. Does it say on toxic waste or something? It says on. Why it says up there? Toxic waste disposal. It says up there. Comes up to this fella. And said, we can't open this door. What you doing here? You can't go in there. And Golic just cuts his throat. Has he done it now? No, just slashes his throat, cuts his throat. Then he goes, I'm sorry. Says this is mental. And he opens the door and lets it out, and it kills him. It kills him. He opens the door. And then out comes the alien. We don't see it. We just hear it, I think. We hear it getting him any second now. Here it is. He's going to get him now. It's in there somewhere. Any minute now. Till they drag it out, don't they? Oh, for God's sake. Here we go. Bones crunching. So that's the end of Golic. That was his reward for helping the dragon. It ate him. Or just killed him. Anyway, so it's out again. Anyway. So she's gone to talk to Dylan, saying that, they want to keep it. And to the weapons division. And Dylan saying, so what? I don't care. He said, but a lot of innocent people will die. And he goes, I don't care. We live here. We don't care about the outside universe. But anyway, as they're talking about that, in comes Morse. There we go. We've got a teeny-weeny problem. Obviously, he's come to and thought, oh, God, Golic's got out. So they go looking for Golic, or they go to the toxic waste thing and they see that it's open and the alien's out again. And obviously, we don't see Golic's body, but they go in, they say, he got what he deserved. So they obviously see his body in there. Right, so she's not feeling well again. So something's going on, isn't it? I think we all know. And so they say, what they're going to do? She says that she's got to go to the EV and use the neuro scanner. But they're all arguing about what to do next, and she just slopes off to the EV while they're rowing with each other. Here she is. Aaron comes along and helps her out. And this is where we find out that she's got a queen alien inside. And we just get these little glimpses. And they spent ages doing this amazing model work of this this queen alien embryo inside. That they had the model with her heart beating and the alien's heart beating at the same time, in synchronicity. And they never used it. But so we get a glimpse of it. They just show a quick glimpse. There it is. There you go. You can see that it's upside down. It's upside down. And in the footage that they created, like I said, it was translucent. You could see its heart beating in rhythm with Ripley's heart. Anyway, so she now knows that she's got one inside. That's why the xenomorph wouldn't kill her. Right. So what they're gonna do? I think this is where they decide they're going to lure it into the lead, into the furnace, where they pour lead into it. That's what they're going to do. So that's what they decide. We'll go to the furnace. Yes, let's make it to the furnace. Right, so that's what they're going to do. I think she wants to send another signal to the to the company. Is it this one? No, it might be later. She's saying to Aaron, that's it. Send them a signal saying the facility's compromised. Toxic waste or something. It's don't land, go away. Basically, and he says, "No, I'm not saying that. I'm out of here. I've got a wife and a kid." But anyway, I think she does send the message. Or somebody sends the message at some point, and they say that I think Aaron sends the message. And yes, because the scanner in the EV automatically sent its data to the network, so they know that she's got an alien queen inside her, and they send a message saying, "Ensure Lieutenant Ripley's kept alive," or whatever. There we go. Neuroscan data received. Expediting Medivac team arriving in 2 hours. What else does it say? There we go. Oh, absolute highest priority. Lieutenant Ripley be quarantined until arrival. So they want her. Right. So she's gone looking for the alien, by the way, because she knows it won't kill her. She thinks maybe she can kill it. And this next, I don't get this next bit. She just got really bad eyes all of a sudden. But it is weird. She thinks she sees it. She grabs a pipe and she looks round. She's looking round, and I think it is actually the alien. It looks like it. She goes around this corner and she sees it. Is it going to show it? There we go. I mean, it doesn't show it clearly, but obviously it looks like the alien, doesn't it? It's obviously not what it is we see in a minute. It's clearly the alien, the xenomorph, and she hits it. Oh, you see it move, don't you? It moves, look. So it is actually the alien, and then she hits. Does it move really quickly? Does it get out of the way or something? I don't know, because she hits it with the pipe. There we go. Here we go. Bong. She hits it with a pipe, but it's just a pipe all of a sudden with loads of ticks or creatures, bugs in it. So I don't get it. Was it always the pipe, and we were just seeing what she thought we, what, seeing it through her eyes? She thought it was the alien. I don't know, but it's still around there somewhere, because look, it's there in the background. That's its hand, and she turns around and it's there. Look, hello, smile. But it won't kill her. It won't kill her. No, and this is where she's gone to see Dylan again. because it won't kill her. It's just run off. I think she says it just ran away. And so she wants Dylan to kill her. So she gets ready. She says, just kill me, just do it, because I don't want the company to experiment on me. So there she's ready. But he won't kill her. And says, if it won't kill you, maybe that helps us fight it. And, afterwards, I'll kill you quick, easy, painless. Anyway, so does he say it there? Is that what he says it? Yes, I'll take care of you, no problem. Quick, easy, and painless. Anyway, so they're going to lure it into what they call the piston or something like that. There's some of the Oriental writing, look. Japanese, Chinese, I don't know, whatever. Korean, I don't know. Anyway, so that's it. Apparently half of them are being killed by now, because Dylan said that. Half my men are being killed by this thing. So they're going to lure it into the lead works now. They're going to lure it in there and pour loads of hot lead on it. But they've got to get it in there. So basically, they're all got to act as bait for it and shut doors behind themselves as they go running down corridors and stuff. So off they go. They've got a plan. There we are, closing doors and stuff. There we go. They won't have time. Once they press the button and start the piston, they won't have time to reset it. So I think they've got about 5 minutes for the piston to seal off the area, whatever it is. Anyway, right. So more of these are going to die now because they're going to get chased about by it. There's Pete Postlethwaite, greatest actor alive, although he's not alive anymore. But The Lost World, Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Steven Spielberg said he was the greatest actor in the world or something. I don't know if he was being sarcastic or if he genuinely meant it. Anyway, look, Morse's door's not closing. And do we see the alien there? Oh, there's the alien. I like this shot, even though some of the compositing kind of looks a bit funky. And again, I think the shadow on the wall is a digital effect. Not necessarily CG, but maybe, animated or whatever and put on digitally. I don't know. But anyway, I think so there it is, eating somebody. Here comes Phil Davis. So it goes chasing after him. And then we get POV shots. They had the cameraman using a steady cam. And there we go. And he ran down corridors and said he kept knocking the lights over and stuff like that. Running down corridors. And it turned it over. He turned the camera over to make it look as though the alien were scrambling up on the roof and all. And they were really impressed with that. But anyway, so here we are. So they're going to get got. There we go. Somebody's being got there. Loads of blood. And here it comes any second now. There it is. Trying to get him through the door. There we go. It's got through. Now it's after him. Here it comes. Oh, look, Morse is there. Where is he? How did I get here? Anyway, as this is going on, there we go. It's the Sulaco. They just use the Sulaco model, but I don't know what the ship's called. I don't know if it ever tells us, but it's another ship like the Sulaco is arriving. Can they go into an atmosphere? I don't know. Is it just? I don't know. But anyway, here it comes. Does it land? That's not a good composite, is it? That's they've got those blacks wrong, haven't they? It looks green there, doesn't it? But anyway, look. But whatever. Look, he throws that light at it, and they were real proud of it, but it still kind of looks a bit funky, doesn't it? It still doesn't look great. Let's have a look when the flare hits it. I said these shadows, they're digitally composited. But anyway, yeah, well, but yeah, whatever. It's fine for the time. That's off it goes. There we go. More POVs, look down corridors and all that stuff. Cool stuff. There it is. Right. So anyway, so that's said. The others get killed off. I mean, I think we end up with just Dylan. All that's left is Dylan and Morse, and obviously, what's the face? Ripley. Pete Postlethwaite cops for it. Here we go. Pete Postlethwaite gets it through the head. Oh, there it is. Look, it's poking its head through. Like, bit Scooby-Doo thing going on there, wasn't it? They should have had like loads of doors going down, like in the Scooby-Doo corridors, where they're just running to and fro and down the long corridor. But anyway, so it's off killing off. This fella here. I don't think it is from Game of Thrones, is it? You know what I mean? Him that with all wheels within wheels plans. That fella, him that got burned to death with the dragon in season 8, I think, or it's season 7, whatever. I don't think it is him. Anyway, right, so, there's a ship landing or whatever, and all the bugs flying about, and we see Bishop's coming back again. I think this is it Michael Bishop in this? Who isn't an android? There's Phil Davis. He's probably going to get got in a minute. Winggrace says, never seen Game of Thrones. Never seen Game of Thrones. Blimey, O'Reilly. There's not many of you around, Winggrace. Of your kind. You mean my kind? Anyway, it's Phil Davis getting got. I think it is him. Yeah, it is. Gets hold of him, does Dylan, and drags him back down, pulls him away. The alien in hot pursuit, and he expires. But the alien comes in, look, and there we go. And he starts off in I think it's in Game of Thrones, but probably isn't. Sets off the piston a bit early before the alien is inside, and so they've got about 4 or 5 minutes. So they've got to basically run round, have it chase them round, and get it back in there. So he's going to get got, whoever he is. He's got one of them faces. I've seen him in something, but I don't know who he is. There's the piston. Now, Jude, run as fast as you can, but doesn't do any good. He runs through. Is it going to show it? There we go. Just grabs him just as he's nearly at safety. Poor whoever he is. Does it say he's Jude? Poor Jude. Who played Jude? Let's have a look. Jude. He's Vincenzo Nicoli as Jude. There we go. Who did Phil Davis play? Kevin Dodd. Anywho, here come the soldiers with their cricket pads on and stuff. Hang on, does it show them from the front? No, not yet. Here they are arriving. And Aaron's gone to greet them. Say, where is the fella? Says Lieutenant Ripley, because he's obviously Japanese or whatever. He's must be from the Yutani part of Wayland Yutani. Obviously, of Asian origin. And there we go. She's in the lead works with the beast. He's trying to kill it. Meanwhile, Morse and the other fella, him that she punched, whose name I've forgotten. Gregor. Morse and Gregor just bump into each other. They have a good laugh. Look, you scared me shitless. So they're all having a good laugh, but then the alien comes and kills Gregor. And Morse gets a face full of blood. And so Ripley arrives. And she grabs hold of it. It's I think it's like eating Gregor in like a little alcove. She actually grabs hold of its tail, trying to pull it out. But it doesn't want to come out. But Dylan arrives and grabs hold of it, and that makes the alien kick off. Hang on, where are we? There we go. It sees her. It sees her getting dragged off by Dylan. There we go. It sees her getting dragged off by Dylan, and then look! Oh, get off her! She's got my queen in her. Almost with its lips. Originally in the Vincent Ward script, They got H.R. Giger in. Is it Giger or Geiger? Whatever. I'll say Giger. They got H.R. Giger back to do designs and stuff for the Xenomorph. And for one of the designs, he wanted to give it lips, seductive lips, because it would kiss people and like force the embryo into their throats or something. I don't know. But is this a leftover from that? I don't know. Anyway, so it gets angry. So that lures it out as she's being dragged away. They go, Morse, shut that door. And he shuts the door just in time, does Morse. Here come this lot. There's Bishop, look. Here they are. And there's the soldiers with their cricket pads on. Oh, dear. There's Morse. He's got out. He's climbed up and got out. Had to shut that. Had to shut that hatch. Just that's, self-preservation. But he's going up to the controls for the lead. And then, of course, he's telling it, you get out. He said, no, I want to die. And he said, we got a deal. It dies first, then you. So he sends her up. Here comes the alien. They're in now where they pour the lead to make them sheets, them lead sheets. That's where they are now. The pistons sealed it all off now. And it's just the alien and Dylan in there. And it's going to go get him. So he's getting him. And then Ripley's shouting, pour the lead. So he pours the lead. There it goes. They pour the lead. Obviously, they didn't pour real lead. I don't know what it is. It's some gloopy, liquid that they put loads of, I don't know, silver colouring in or something to make it look like lead. Some viscous liquid that looks like lead. They poured that in. So anyway, so they think they've done it. Obviously, Dylan's now dead. There's just Morse. Excuse me, just Morse and Ripley left, and Aaron, of course. Everybody else is dead. And they think, yeah, we got it. But then it jumps out. Oh, crikey, it jumps out all covered in lead. And I missed a bit earlier on that I just should have. They had a Chekhov's bucket earlier on, and I meant to point it out and I forgot. Earlier on, remember the fire earlier on when it all exploded? When that fella dropped his flare, he had his bucket there. Remember, his bucket hit the ground, and then the flare landed on it, and it all blew up. And to put the fire out, they hit the sprinklers, and it showed the bucket being cooled down by the water from the sprinkler. It made the bucket crack, break, because of the sudden change, from hot to cold because of the sprinklers. It made the bucket break. And that would have given a little clue what would come in at the end here. And I forgot to point it out. But I've just done it now. Anyway, so it jumps out. It's still alive, although it's covered in hot molten lead. Look, so it's obviously in a bit of pain, I imagine. I think Morse says to Ripley, start the sprinklers. It's covered in hot lead. There you go, douse the thing. So she does. So she starts the sprinkler. Hang on, here we go. This is where we get the only CG part of the film. And then she douses it with sprinkler. We get this lovely music with all this doom music. Dun, 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 all that doomy music all through the film. And then now Leonard Rosenthal. Is it not Leonard? Elliot Rosenthal. Is it? I've got it all wrong now. Goldenthal. Who the hell did the music for this? Elliot Goldenthal, wasn't it? Let's go back to the top. Double check. Elliot Goldenthal, he did the music for this. He's done loads of other stuff as well. It's all doomy music, apart from this bit where it goes all lovely. I'll press the wrong button. Anyway, all the cool water goes onto the Xenomorph, and there we go. This is the only CG bit of the film, is where it gets the cracks on it, and as the cooling lead gets all this. It's the only bit of CG, and it lasts like half a second, something like that. I'll just play it in real time. I'll go back a bit. There you go. That's it. That's it. About half a second, isn't it? It's the only bit of CG in the film, and then it blows up. Hang on, we'll see it in a minute. boom, and then we see it from various camera angles. So that's the end. They've killed the alien. Yay! Anyway, she swings across, take her to safety. And she keeps going like, oh, stuff's going wrong. Anyway, so they're going back out, and here comes Aaron and Bishop. Here he is, and oh, Bishop, oh, Ripley, and you're an android. Says, I'm not. I'm the one that designed the Bishop model. Wingray says, and nobody ever had trouble again. Not for another, was it 200 years anyway. There we go. She knows she's got the alien in her, and he says, "Come with us. We'll take it. We'll take you back to the ship, and we'll remove it and destroy it, and you can have children and get married." But she don't believe him. You don't know how important you are. But she says, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing it." So she goes through this. She closes this fence. There we go, and there they go, and there we go. He gets shot. They shoot. There we go. They shoot Morse in his leg, and he takes her over the. Hang on, we haven't done yet. He shoots Morse in the leg, and she says, take me over to the furnace or whatever. But and I've done it yet. Aye. Aaron picks up a big iron bar, and he gives Bishop a good old whack on the head. I've missed it. I've gone too far. Look, here we go. Give him a right old whack. Boing, and he knocks his ear off. Just to prove he's human. To be honest, I thought it proved he wasn't human. I mean, could you still, have a conversation with somebody while your ear's hanging off? I don't know. Or maybe he's just in shock. I don't know. But anyway, he gives him a whack, and the soldier shoots him. So that's the end of Mr. Aaron. There we go. He's shot to death. There we go. I'm guessing Lance Henriksen saw this spiral staircase here, thought, I'm having that for my house, which he did. Apparently, has got it in his house, which I mentioned at the beginning. Anyway, so he's calling out his Bishop, calling out to Ripley, think of all we could learn from it, come back, and all that stuff. And I can see, look, his ears hanging up. Look. Obviously they made a prosthetic and showed his ear hanging off, but I'd be like, I can't function. I'm in so much pain. That's what made me think maybe he's an android, but not with white blood. Maybe we made him look more realistic. I don't know. Meanwhile, obviously, camcorders, have not advanced much in the future, have they? The size of that bugger. Anyway, never mind. It tells him to stop there with no pictures. Don't know why, but anyway. But she chucks herself into the molten lead. There she goes. Off she goes into the molten lead. Ballsy move. That's it, to kill off your main character. She'd had enough, by the way, Sigourney Weaver. She wanted this to be the last one. But obviously, the paychecks kept her coming, didn't they? And off she goes. There we go, down into the flames or whatever it is. And there we go. In the theatrical version, I prefer the theatrical version. But in this one, she just goes in. And that's the end, essentially. They shut the furnaces down, lock up the place, the sun sets. Oh, no, the sun rises, doesn't it? We get a sunrise on the new day, all hopeful and all that stuff. And then we see him locking the place up. See, Morse is the only one to survive. Why? Why is Morse the only one to survive? I suppose like random people can survive stuff, can't they? But why him? Don't know, but he does. He's the last one to survive. Maybe he's the one that's going to tell the tale. I don't know, but off he goes. And then we get a little footage of the EV with crackly voiceover from Ripley saying, Lieutenant Ellen Ripley signing off or whatever. Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off. That she did at the end of the first film. And there we go. We see end of trans. Oh no, I missed a bit. There we go. Work prison closed and sealed. Custodial prisons terminated, apart from Morse. Remaining refining equipment to be sold as scrap. And there we go, that's the end of the film. There's all music and stuff. A really good film, a really, really, really good film, I think, is Alien 3. But I preferred the theatrical ending, so I'm just going to just remove that a minute. Ooh, what am I doing? Because I've got it. Come here. Go. Tell you, I can't. There we go. I found it on YouTube. If I can bloody find the thing, there it is. I'll not play it. I'll just show you it. There it is. Look, in the theatrical version, they decided that they wanted the chestburster, the Queen chestburster, to come out as she's falling, and that she'd grab it and hold it and take it with her to her death. And I preferred that ending. I don't know why they decided not to do it like that. I thought this were better. Her taking her baby back into hell from whence it came, or stuff like that. But yeah, I did prefer that ending where the Queen chestburster comes out, but she grabs hold of it and goes down into the into the depths and all that stuff. But yeah, we didn't get that in the assembly cut. We just got her falling and dying. And of course, she'd never come back again, would Sigourney Weaver, into the Alien franchise until the next film, because they just backed up a lorry load of money and just tipped it onto her drive. And she came back. But anyway, the reasoning, I think the reason she came back for Alien Resurrection is because she'd heard. Is it this now? She'd heard they wanted to do an Alien versus Predator film, and if she did this, it'd head it off at the pass, so to speak. But we still got an Alien versus Predator film later, didn't we? But anyway, so there we go. That's the end of Alien 3, Alien Cubed, whatever. A good film, a bit grim and a bit depressing, but still a really good film, and not the load of rubbish that everybody thinks it is. But to be honest, it is probably still. Of the proper Alien films, the first 4, it's probably still my least favourite, but it's still a good film. But yeah, because I've got a soft spot for Alien Resurrection. I really like it. But yeah, so there we go. So that's Alien 3. Give it a whirl. Like I said, the assembly cut is the better version. You get more character arcs. And all that. Golic gets a longer story. That junior character who tries to rape Ripley, he ends up going out like a boss, so to speak, and all that. But yeah, even Mr. Aaron comes to his senses, but at the cost of his own life. But anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted for another week. Right, so what's coming up next? What day are we on? We're on Friday, aren't we? Yes, we are. Don't bloody day it is. Of course it's Friday. We're just an appointment with Fear. So, what we do? Sunday. I don't know if I'm doing anything Sunday. We'll see. Depends how I feel. I don't know. But on Monday, where are we? Because it's the 25th of May on Monday, which means it's Star Wars Day, which means we're doing the next one in our list of Star Wars films, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The final film of the prequel trilogy, but most people's favourite film of the prequel trilogy. Not mine. I've got a big soft spot for Attack of the Clones, but anyway. So that's on Monday. On next Friday night appointment with Thea, we're doing Blood, the Last Vampire. I've never seen this. This is my son's DVD of it. I've never seen it. It's based on an anime. Again, I've never seen that either. So I'll be watching both. So hopefully it's good. I hope it is. Because we're doing it next week. Reviewing it. So there we go. Is that it? Oh, no. And next Monday. No, not next Monday. The Monday after. Yes, the Monday after. It's the 25th, I think, 25th anniversary of Atlantis: The Lost Empire. A week on Monday. Yeah, not this Monday, the Monday after. So we'll do Atlantis: The Lost Empire, a breakdown and review of that. One of my favourite Disney films. No singing in it. It's just a good old-fashioned adventure story. Right, so we're done and dusted. We'll leave it there. So thanks, Wingrace. It says, have a great holiday weekend. All you American friends, yes. Is it your... This is a holiday for us, is it for you? It's our spring bank holiday over this weekend, I think. I think it is. It used to be the last weekend in May. I don't know if it's... Is it this one? I don't know. Whatever. But if you've got one over there as well, you have a great time as well. So we'll leave it there. So thanks, Wingrace. Thanks, Justin. I don't think anybody else popped in, did they? I didn't see anybody else. No, I don't think so. Justin's probably asleep now. Is it your Memorial Day? All right. I think it's just our spring bank holiday. Let me check. Come on. Hello? Are you not working? Oh, sorry then. Oh, see, it does it now. Hey, UK Spring Bank Holiday 2026. Yes, it is this week. It used to be at the end, the very end of the month. Because I used to joke, they used to have it for my birthday, because my birthday is coming up. So yes, we have so we're both America and the UK are celebrating or commemorating something. You've got your Memorial Day. We've just got a spring bank holiday, which I think is half term for the kids at school. I think it's half term. They just get a week off. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. So thanks for watching. Hang on, I'm taking that off. There we go. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Hang on, my things are not working now. What's going on here? I tell you, technical difficulties tonight. Why is that not scrolling? Unbelievable. Why is it not scrolling? Can't get down to my stuff. Why are you not scrolling? Right, we'll do that. Then we'll do that. Still not scrolling. Why can't we scroll? Oh, it's stupid. Okay, we'll do it like this then. I can't, because it's still what? For some reason, it's not scrolling. Maybe I can refresh my page. If it goes off, StreamYard is stupid, or maybe it's Microsoft Edge that's being stupid. I'm just going to refresh this page. Hopefully, it won't affect the stream. Hopefully. Am I there? Am I back? Am I back? Yes, I think I'm back. Right. I think I'm back. Unbelievable. Right. So let me scroll now. So thanks for watching. I told you, technical difficulties tonight. Must be the heat or something. I don't know. UK is not used to heat. And, like people in America will say, it's not that warm. It gets a lot hotter in America. But I've heard American people that have visited Britain when we're having a heat wave saying, it's unbearable here because we've got a different climate, you see. So it feels hotter than, what you're used to over there. But anyway, I think I'm back. Am I? Yes, I am. Yes, I am back. Oh, dear. Right, so I'm going to go again now. Wingrace says Andy's gone, and I am going to. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other. Don't have nightmares. And until next time, I'll say the...